I am very curious about today's video because I'm going to be trying to do a full face of stains, tints, whatever you want to call them, products that are supposed to actually stain your face. It's not just lip stains anymore. I've got blush stains, contour stains, freckle stains, eyebrow stains, lash tints. If you like this video, it would massively help me if you gave this a thumbs up, and if you like watching my videos, then I would love it if you subscribe. Let's get into it. I'm actually going to start with my lips because I was going to put a lip balm on, then I was like, actually that's probably not the best thing to do before I'm about to put a stain on, because you need like dry lips, otherwise the stain's not going to sink in properly. So obviously I've tried the sachet one, the classic peel off one. I've tried the Revolution peel off one, which I actually pretty liked. I pretty liked that one. I liked that one a fair amount. That was a pretty good one. I've tried the Huda Beauty ones. Today I'm going to use one of the Rimmel ones just because I don't think I've used these in a video yet. So this is the Rimmel Lip Ink Pen and it is a lip stain. This is the shade Felted Flush. And the mistake I made when I first used this is that I put this one around the edges and then I used another shade because I have the more pink tone shade, which is called Très Chic. I put this in the middle of my lips and then I didn't like it as much. So I think I'm just going to go for this shade as my lip liner. And then I'm going to use a different stain in the middle. So I'm going to go for this and then try and quickly blend it out. Yeah, these smell really nice. They smell a bit like fruity. I like it. Oh no! Didn't want it there. You know what, actually, if I'm using this around the edges and another lip stain in the middle, I'm like, do I even need to blend out the edges? Just in case. Oh wait, it's too late, that's dry. You gotta move quick. I see now where I'm going over it's going a bit patchy. These are $10.99 by the way, and they have 1.7 mil of product, which is obviously more than the Huda one, but not that much more. But still like half the price of the Huda one and more product. I will say, I prefer the formula of the Huda Beauty ones. I feel like they apply a little bit nicer. The applicator is a bit softer. They go on a little bit easier, and also I think the actual staying power is a little bit better, but I wanted to use an affordable alternative. Okay, so I'm going to use that just as my lip liner. Yes, you can't really go over it without it going weird, and the nib is kind of drying up a little bit now, so I think we will leave that one there. So this is my lip liner stain. I'm obviously going to leave everything on for a while and then I'm going to wipe it. Oh no, I've just realized I've fully just stained my finger. Oops. Then on the center of my lips, I'm going to use the NYX Lip by V in the shade, I was going to say Hydro Honey. This is not the shade. This one is Mocha Me Wet. My favorite shade is actually Hydro Honey, but I really like that one as a gloss color anyway, and that leaves behind like a very subtle kind of pink tint when the gloss wears off, but you can just wear it as the gloss itself. I'm going to use Mocha Me Wet just because this one has got a little bit more staining power. This is one of like the medium shades. They do red ones as well, but I'm not really in a red lip mood today, so I'm just going to put this all over. These are actually some of my favorite lip stains, but not necessarily because of the staining power compared to others. I just really like how it feels like a nice gloss. I mean, obviously this color looks wild at the moment. The Hydro Honey shade is this one. It's a lot lighter, and this one just looks like a normal regular gloss. This one on me looks a little bit much, but if you had a medium skin tone, then this one might be a nice nude for you. But what I like about them is you can wear them as a gloss, and then throughout the day as the gloss wears off, it leaves behind like a nice little pink tint. So it's not as intense as other, you know, like it's not as intense as like the peel off lip stains. And the darker shades do leave more of a stain. The lighter shades leave a more subtle stain. Like they feel really hydrating. Whereas a lot of lip stains and lip tints are very like dry feeling. Also this morning when I woke up, I did put on a fake tan on my face. I used the Garnier tanning drops in the glass bottle. So that's also kind of marinating. I like to do that anyway. For me, it's kind of like a, I don't know, it just makes my skin look a bit more even. I guess because it takes away some of the contrast between my super fair skin and any like darkness or under eye bags, that kind of thing. So the next thing that I'm going to put on, because I want these to stay on, you know, for a while and let them sit there. I don't actually know if these are going to stain my face, but I've seen people using them on TikTok and saying that they're a stain. So this is the brand Sachu. This is the one that made the peel off lip tint that went viral. They've come out with a all-day contour stain. The lip stains stay the same thing on them, you know? And a blush all-day cheek stain. And it says long wear liquid blush, long wear liquid contour, stays in place all day and night, transfer and smudge proof, buildable formula. And it says it has long-lasting pigments, waterproofing agents, and it says it stays in place no matter what comes your way. Childbirth? So it doesn't technically say that it's going to actually stain your face. It just says long wearing, waterproof, that kind of thing. But I want to see if it does anyway. And I guess I will do like a waterproof test of all of this. Oh boy, am I going to be spraying myself on the face with a shower. Probably. And obviously you can get like a kind of semi-permanent result by putting fake tan around your contour areas anyway. I'm just very curious about this product. So I have got the shade 03 Giving Drama in the contour. It's actually massive. Okay, so it looks like this, and then I guess I just twist. Do I need to shake it? Doesn't seem like it. I'm a little bit scared about how quickly I'm gonna need to blend this. Brush at the ready. Oh my goodness, okay, that's quite a lot. So let's just blend that all in. Ooh, that's a nice warm colour. Do I put this on quite bold, or do I actually try and make it look good? Because if it is gonna stain, I want it to stain, you know? Okay, it seems to be drying down quite quickly. It's just occurred to me that I'm just gonna look a bit crazy for a while. Okay, yeah, it does seem to be drying pretty quick. Yeah, there's so much that's come out the end of it. I don't want to get it in my hair. Okay, whoa, that was a lot. Let's also bring some of that onto the other side. It's definitely a very warm shade. I wouldn't say that this is a contour, it's more of a bronzer. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is put this in the areas of my face that I usually would, and then I might take like a foundation or a skin tint or something just to kind of fill in the gaps in between, because it looks a bit much. I also blended that too far down, haven't I? Don't do that. That's definitely not the right kind of placement. And then I'm also gonna put some down my nose. You know what? A product that actually really works to stain my nose is the U-Tan Freckle pen. I use that as a little semi-permanent nose contour, normally when I'm on holiday and I don't really want to wear much makeup. And I am also going to use that because it does give you some little semi-permanent freckles. You do kind of have to redo them like every day, but it gives you like little waterproof freckles and nose contour, which is so handy. Because the thing about face tan is that you do have to reapply it. Like, you have to top it up most days, otherwise it's just not going to last, because obviously when you're doing your skincare routine, like if you're taking off your makeup and then like double cleansing, your tan's gonna come off your face way quicker than the rest of your body. So the tan's gonna fade quicker. Okay, so I've done that down my nose as well, which looks pretty good actually. Seems to work quite nicely. And for the blush, I went for the shade 02 I'm Playful, which looks like it's gonna be a pretty peach colour. Exactly the same kind of packaging. Slightly bigger doe foot though. I can see it. It's a coming. This looks like it's going to be a really nice colour. So again, I'm just going to do a couple dots of this, and then I'm just going to blend that in. You know what? If this actually does work as a cheek stain, that will be so handy, because I love having the look of a little bit of blush. I mean, I say a little bit. Look at me. But like I said, I kind of want to over apply it, just so that if it is going to stain, it's actually going to really be on there. So I want to get quite a lot of that on my bare skin. So don't worry, I'm aware that this looks ridiculous. You know what I've just realised? Something that does actually kind of stain your skin a little bit is the Milk makeup stains, the cooling jelly tint things. That might be a good option if this doesn't work. Wait one sec. First, I'm going to use the Freckle pen. This is the U-Tan Enhance Define Freckle pen, and they do say that you can use this around your lips or like on the rest of your face and as little freckles. Mine is an absolute mess because it's just been in like my travel bag, because like I said, I bring this on holiday and I like to do a little bit of like nose contouring with it, add some little fake freckles just for fun. So you twist the pen, and then these look very dark at first. You kind of want them to look dark, because then the darker they are, the more likely it is to actually last and show up. And don't get me wrong, you don't necessarily need this pen. You could literally just use a dark tan and a little brush, because essentially what this is tan but in a pen form. So the more that you put on, the darker your result is going to be. And I like to do my freckles to kind of emphasize the contour down my nose. So next up, I was looking for like a lash stain, but obviously that doesn't really, it's not really a thing, because you can just tint your lashes. And so I went for this, which I've not tried before. I've used Mylee's original, like they have tubes, they sell tubes and bottles of their lash and brow dye, and I've used that for a good few years now. Usually on my brows, I'll either use the Mylee one in the brown shade, and I mix a tiny dot of black just to make it a little bit more cool toned, or I use the Reflectorsil, is it called, in the shade 3, again mixed with a tiny dot of black, or I use the Schwarzkopf brow tint kit. For this one from Mylee, I thought, you know what, I've not actually tried this. I'm assuming it's going to be very similar, but it comes with a little brush, which is very handy. I got this on TikTok shop. I think it was $8.99, and it says the Express Lash and Brow Tint 2-in-1 no mix formula. That's handy. 5-minute results, last up to 6 weeks, intensifies hair color for fuller looking brows and lashes. I'm assuming it's just the same as their regular tubes, but just smaller. No. Apply barrier cream or petroleum jelly around the tinting area without touching the hair to protect the skin from staining. I'm not going to do that just because I'm a bit silly, and I probably should do that, but I'll be careful. It says to use the tint first and apply it on your lashes. Then it says to remove the tint off the lashes with a dry cotton pad, and then allow the skin and hair to dry completely for 3 to 5 minutes before the next step. This is very important. During this time, clean the mascara wand thoroughly. Step 5, apply the Mylee Express Developer Gel using the mascara wand. Leave on for 1 to 2 minutes. Wipe your lashes again using a damp cotton pad. What? That is so confusing. So I have cleansed my lashes. I've not put anything on them. Leave on for 2 to 4 minutes. So we will do 4 minutes. We'll do the maximum it suggests because I definitely want it to work. This is a bit different to what I'm used to, so I'm kind of confused. So it looks like this. And it does say to apply using the mascara wand. Oh my god, that was so close. That nearly just went all over my t-shirt. Okay, it's like this weird brown looking gel. So I'm gonna apply it actually with the brush, and then I might comb through it with the mascara wand. Just because generally, whenever I've tried anything like this before, using a mascara wand wipes half the product off anyway. So usually when I'm doing my brow and lash tint, I just use a little brush like this one anyway. So I want to make sure they're fully coated. As the instructions do say to put it on the mascara wand, I've just put some on the top of like this random lid. It would be easier if you could actually dip the mascara wand into the product. So I want to make sure they're fully coated. See, it just doesn't look like it's applying the product onto my lower lashes, like it's not sticking at all. I think it's easier to just use the brush, you know. I've just started the timer for that eye because obviously that's just taken me a while to apply it. It is a fiddly old process, you know. Surely it would be easier to just mix the developer and the colour together and then apply instead of doing them separately. Like, I've never done it like this before. Okay, well, I'll leave it for 5 minutes and come back. I'm back. I'm gonna start removing this eye. Well, I'm not removing my eye. I'm going to remove the product. I've cleaned my brush, fold a dry cotton pad in half and enclose the lashes to gently remove the tint of the lashes without touching the skin. And then you allow your hair to completely dry for 3 to 5 minutes before the next step. It says 5-minute application. Mylee, that was a lie because you have to wait in between all these steps. Maybe they're talking about eyebrows. Maybe they're talking about eyebrows. Okay, so I'm just going to gently remove. Ooh, getting the excess off with a tissue. It's actually kind of difficult to take it off without touching your skin. I guess I pinch it off my lashes. I think that's about as best I'm gonna get. I'm getting all bits of lint in it. It feels really sticky. Honestly, it's so much easier to do my regular process of lash tinting. So surely if I'm wiping off all of this, how's the developer gonna work over the top of it? I don't understand. I think that's about the best that I can get. So now I have to wait for them to dry for the next 5 minutes. So I'm setting another timer. But in the meantime, I'm gonna do my brows. This is from Wonder Skin. Wonder Skin are the brand that make that, I think the original peel off lip tint where it's like a crazy blue color, which I have tested before, by the way. If you type in SOPH Does Life Wonder Skin, it will probably come up. It was me like testing the ads. I actually tested it a couple years ago. But this is their Wonder Blading Brow Stain and Go Mask. And it says, welcome to stunning no fade brow colour that lasts all day. Our high-tech vegan formula hyper stains for touch-up free colour. And you're supposed to apply it to your brows using short strokes. Ensure the brows are completely covered and no skin is visible. Leave on for approximately 60 seconds. The longer you leave it on, the more saturated your colour will be. And then using a damp cloth or tissue, gently swipe over the brow, wiping away the mask, revealing natural looking brows. So it is actually supposed to stain your eyebrows. And I got the shade Brunette. This is what it looks like. The applicator's like a little angled paintbrush looking kind of thing. So I think I literally just apply this all throughout my eyebrows and then wipe it off. So take a good look at the before. By the way, I do normally tint my eyebrows like I said earlier. Oh wait, do I want to like feather it a bit at the front? God, I've already made a mess. But I think the last time I tinted them was maybe like 2 weeks ago, so they've kind of faded a bit. Actually, because this is so like dark and in case it stains everything, I'm just going to clean up along the top there because that was looking a bit angry. Ah! Making mistakes. Oh no, it's just wiped off some of the bronzer. So those are my eyebrows. And then it says to leave it for 60 seconds, so I guess I do 60 seconds from applying. Okay, a minute is up. I don't know how, it's coming off kind of pink. The cotton pad is pretty pink as I'm removing that, which is odd. I don't actually think that's done anything. Maybe a little bit actually. Maybe it's done a little bit. Do they look a little bit darker? It's kind of messy to take off. Let me just make sure it's fully removed on this side and then fully remove it on this side too. I think it's done a bit of something. Okay, my eyebrows look really red and angry right now because I've just been scrubbing them. I think that has actually done a little bit of something. I mean, we're gonna have to wait for the redness to calm down. I don't feel like that did a whole lot. I think it's done a little bit of something. They look a little bit darker, but not really. I don't know, guys. What do we think? Also, now the area around my eyebrows looks insane. So now what I need to do is use the developer liquid on my lashes. Oh, they're immediately changing colour actually. Yeah, I'm using the little brush this time. Oh, Whoa, look at that. It's gone from being clear to going black. That's kind of cool. But again, the brush is not fully applying it, as in like the spoolie. I'm gonna add some with my brush. That was kind of cool how it instantly transformed though. It's changing colour. Okay, applying the developer is a little bit easier with the spoolie on the top lashes, but on my bottom lashes, not really. Oh no, I made a mess on that eye. Thing is, I can't get to the very roots of my lashes and I can't coat them evenly with the spoolie. So for now, I have just made a bit of a mess. I'm so sorry. Leave on for 1 to 2 minutes. In the meantime, I'm just gonna clean up around my eyebrows with some of that leftover bronzer because it looks a little bit funky, doesn't it? I think that tint has even wiped off like the fake tan from my forehead as well. God, I look so scary. Now we wipe it away. Okay, it's definitely stained my skin, but that was my own fault. As long as it has actually stained my lashes, then I'll be happy. Just try not to get this in your eye because it does sting a little bit. It definitely has tinted my lashes. I feel like maybe not as much as I hoped it would. The bottom ones are looking a little bit lackluster. I have a big old stain on my skin on this side. My bad. It has definitely stained my lashes though. Tinted them, I guess. They are definitely looking a lot darker than they did before. Like you can see my lashes are now black, which is what I wanted it to do, but that was such a lengthy process. If I was to do this again, I would just stick with my usual kit where you mix the gel stuff with the liquid drops, mix it all together and just put it on your lashes and leave it for like 5-10 minutes. Whereas this whole process took so long. But hey, at least it worked. With like the liquidy solution, I feel like it sort of gets everywhere. Whereas this one was a little bit less messy to apply. Now I'm like, do I even bother putting concealer on? Do I just leave my face looking crazy like this and go and like spray myself in the shower and see if stuff comes off? Okay, this lip stain has now been on for maybe like an hour since I started filming this video, so I am gonna take this off now and see what is left behind. Nice. Those colours actually match each other so nicely. Can you see how it's left behind like a slightly berry tint? But for a lip stain, these NYX ones leave my lips actually not feeling dry and horrible. Nothing comes off. That looks really nice. Just to give you a close-up, you can see a little bit where it's sort of settled into a couple of lines, but generally, compared to other lip stains that I've tried, I feel like these NYX ones are more hydrating. I like light colour. You know what I've just realised with the brow stuff? It's like sunk into my pores around this eyebrow. It's like stuck in my skin. I'm just gonna take the tiniest little bit of concealer, literally just there. I am going to spray myself in the face with some water because these claim to be waterproof, the blush and the contour. Obviously I would not go out looking like this because everything's still developing. I have not done the rest of my makeup, but I want to see if after spraying these with water, that's my first test, to see if they're waterproof. Either whether they're waterproof or not, and then gonna come downstairs and I'm gonna remove this to see if it's left behind any stain on my actual skin. I'm kind of skeptical that it will because obviously as I was taking off the other products, it's worn off the bronzer that was sort of around my hairline. I wonder if the blush will leave a bit of a stain. We'll see. I'll be right back. This isn't even the first time I've done this for a YouTube video. This is my before. That's definitely stained my skin, hasn't it? Shit. Let me just wipe my eyes first. I feel like that bronzer's come off of my forehead, no? Yeah, I think the bronzer came off my forehead. I'm just gonna pat dry. It's literally coming off on the towel. I wouldn't say that that is waterproof. Like, this cheek is mostly gone. Lips and lashes are still going strong though. Well, well, well. As you can actually kind of see, where my shower cap was, I think it was keeping on some of that product, and the rest of the bronzer on my forehead is kind of completely gone. This cheek, maybe I didn't spray as much, maybe I didn't pat it as much, but this cheek is kind of gone. It's still a little bit there, but I wouldn't say that that's waterproof. Not my bare skin anyway. Maybe if you put it over the top of a foundation or something, maybe it then be waterproof, but it's not held up as much as I thought it would. My little freckles are still there. Lips are still going strong. Lashes, obviously, they're stained for a few weeks. And the eyebrows as well. Yeah, my eyebrows I think are definitely darker than they were at the start. But now if I just cleanse my face, I don't think this bronzer and blush is going to leave behind a stain. Yeah, that's just completely come off. Okay. So those Sashu stains are not actually going to stain your skin. But it wasn't a complete fail because if I zoom you back in again, obviously the lashes are now going to be tinted because it's like a dye pretty much. And then, you know what? The eyebrows, I do actually think that's given my brows a little bit of a tint. Maybe I'm delusional. I'm going to have to watch the footage back. I'll put in a before and after of my eyebrows, but I do definitely think they look darker. And that has definitely worked to kind of stain them. Obviously the lip stain is still definitely there. And as well, I've got some little faux freckles on my nose, which are still there. there. So it's not a complete fail, but those cheek stain, contour stain things, they're just marketed as a stain. They're not actually a stain, which is really unfortunate. You'd just be better off using fake tan. Oh yeah, and obviously like I've still got some of the facial tan that I put on earlier. Generally it works better if you put it on overnight. You know what I'm gonna do for my last trick? I'm gonna use the Milk Makeup Cheek and Lip Stain, and I'm actually gonna put some of this onto my bare face like this. Blend it in. This one is the shade Chill. You do have to work quite quickly with these because they kind of dry down quite quickly. This side looks a bit peachier because I still had some of the other blush left on, but I am going to put some of this on, and then I think I will go and have my lunch and I'll come back and wipe this off and see if this has actually stained my skin, because it definitely stains lips. And then maybe if this stains my face, then Milk should come out with a bronzy version. Okay, cool. Let's leave that like that. You know what? Let's also put a bit on my lips. Let's see how this does, shall we? Right, I'm back from my lunch. Sorry, I had to tie my hair up, it's hot. And now for the final test, I'm gonna cleanse my face again with a bit of micellar water and see if this blush stain has stained my cheeks. I feel like there's a little bit of stain there. What do we think? Is there a bit? I feel like there's a little tiny bit of stain. I mean, obviously it's not as much stain as if it had stained my lips, but there is a tiny bit of pink there on my cheeks. And then on my nose, that has definitely stained a tiny bit. I mean, it's nothing groundbreaking, and to be honest, if I did like scrub, I'm sure that would probably all come off. But there is definitely a slight pink tinge on my cheeks, do we think? I think so. So maybe that one is a potential contender. I need to try and get the stain off my face because that eyebrow tint did stain my face. I mean, it's not really done a whole lot, but better than the sachet thing. This was definitely an interesting video to try. And you know what? I gave it a go and I wanted to give it a go. If anyone knows of any other products that actually do work really well to stain your face, let me know, because I would say from this video, your best bet if you're looking for a kind of semi-permanent makeup is tint your lashes, tint your brows. If I'm being real, like the Wonder Skin brow tint did work, but it's quite expensive, and if you buy a little kit, it's gonna last you a long time. Yeah, I would say your best bets are probably fake tanning your face, use some fake tan as contour. I mean, you can use your regular fake tan to do little fake freckles, or the little freckle pen also works for that. Brow tint, lash tint, lip tint, that's about it. And I can guarantee I would have got a better result with a semi-permanent contour if I'd have just added some dark fake tan around those areas. But there we go, I gave it a shot. I will leave the products link down below in case anyone's interested anyway. Okay, as I'm pre-filming these videos, I've seen a few questions on a few videos saying, can we get a bump update? This one comes from Dolce Merez 1470, and they've said, can we please get a baby bump update? Wishing you the best, love. Thank you, but somebody's commented, she's preg? I mentioned it at Christmas, and I've mentioned it in a couple of videos here and there, but yeah, I don't really talk about it very often on this channel, but yeah, I am pregnant, and I'm rapidly approaching my due date. It's actually kind of crazy, because you could potentially be watching this video and I could have had the baby by now. As I'm filming this will be me from the past, because like I said, I'm pre-recording a bunch of content. This looks crazy because I've got, like, I'm always wearing just an oversized t-shirt. It's hot today. But yeah, here is a little bump update. He's really popping. That looks wild when I do this. There you go. It's kind of hard to see in an oversized t-shirt. All of my trousers and joggers I'm having to roll down so that they sit under the bump, but there you go. He's still cooking away in there. Oh, he just kicked me. Whoa, wait, can you see that on camera? He's moving. Did you hear me talking about you? Oh no, now my chair's all the way back here. Can you let me off? No, I need to move forward. But yeah, for that reason, because I'm pre-filming a lot of my YouTube content and a lot of my like short form content as well, it's probably not going to be in real time, so I'm probably going to seem like I'm pregnant for way longer than I actually am. Once I've had the baby, I probably will post on Instagram at some point, like when we're ready, just to say like, you know, mum and baby are all good, but we're not planning to, I've mentioned this before, like touched on it in the past, we might share one photo of him as a newborn, but I'm not planning to like post his face loads and make him like a feature of my content, and my YouTube channel is just gonna stay beauty focused. If you want to see any more specific baby stuff, it will be over on my second channel, which is SOPH Does Vlogs, but again, I'm not promising that I'm gonna do tons. Hopefully by the time you're watching this, there'll be a pregnancy Q&A up and a little like nursery video. Anyway, I'm gonna go. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I hope you're doing good, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!